Morning Dusk. Welcome to Realm of the Sacred Roots. I wanted to talk to you guys today about what's going on in the news. I have put this video off for about 3 weeks now. I really wanted to do this almost a month ago because I follow these things closely, but I kept holding off, and it's about time that I go ahead and knock this video out. A lot of people are doing videos and clips on what's happening right now and the fear that's out there. And so I want to try to make this as short as possible, but I wanted to talk about some of this with the virus, and I wanted to explain to you guys what I've done myself and how I've kept my peace throughout the whole thing. So let's get into this video that I've been delaying for a minute. Okay, let's talk about this. I went into meditation just before doing this video, and I got two sentences from Spirit, and it all has been quiet around me. The spirits have been quiet, and I mean almost all of them. It's been very quiet around me lately. So that tells me something, because something has changed. I'm always hearing things, and so for it to go radio silence on me means something's going on, obviously. So let me tell you what I got from Spirit. I wrote it down because I thought it was important to share with you. It wasn't just for me. It said a web is being weaved from for a foreign nature, or of a foreign nature, not of this world. When we're talking about foreign, but not of this world. For these things come as a distraction. Those were the two sentences that I received from Spirit when I was meditating before doing this video. So let's get into this. Prior to this hitting us, we were already balancing our life. We were balancing our work with school. We're balancing home life with the kids. We're balancing friendship with our social lives. We were already doing the balance dance. When something of this nature comes into the world, usually we'll get a hit, we'll get a hurricane, and then we recover and deal with it and go back to our balance that I just talked about. We have a tornado, we have a natural event that hits us, and we go back to where we were at. In this case with the virus, it seems to linger here, and it sounds like it may linger for a while. So our balance between daily life and now this, and our spiritual life and now this, has been somewhat interrupted. If you're paying any attention to the news or to what your friends might be telling you, it's somewhat interrupted. Now we have two train of thoughts. We have those that say, oh crap, this is coming. They watch the news and it's like, we better get some things in the house just in case so we're prepared. And then you have others that say, bah humbug, hey, I don't want to even talk about it or discuss it. It's not a big deal, and it's not coming, it's not going to affect me. And so I can just basically ignore it and not do anything about it. The only problem with the latter part of that is, no matter what, you're still going to be affected by the people and the stores being empty and people being in a panic. You still will be affected because those things affect you. If people are buying things from the store, if schools are being shut down, if your work says, we no longer want you coming in here, however, work from home, or matter of fact, go home and you won't get paid for because you won't be here. So all of this affects us differently. And if you have elderly and if you have children around, then you have to take those people into consideration. Right now, according to what the data is coming in, the children aren't affected necessarily or as much as the adults are. So it's your elderly and those with the pre-existing conditions that we have to be concerned about. So those are kind of the two train of thoughts that we have. But I say either way, you must have some type of preparation. Being from Florida and hurricane season, we have some type of preparation here. You just have to, because you can't depend on the government to come save you if something happened. And I somewhat say the same thing with here. But again, back to balance. There is a balance in all of this. I don't know if you should lean too far to one side or the other side. In this case, I say balance is good because we still have to balance our finances, our everyday life. We need to find a place to put things. There are a lot of considerations that have to go into this. So that was kind of the first part I wanted to talk about. We talked about schools closing down, about business work sending you guys home. Some people I found out are going to get paid like admin leave, and they'll get paid for going home. Some people are being sent home with iPads and can do work from home and still get paid. Those are the ones that are lucky. They have jobs that allow them to do that. Others are not so blessed to have that happen. So you have to come up with a way to figure it out. You have to calmly figure out what you have to do just in case that happens. If you have large finances and you have nothing to worry about, then that's good. I wanted to I don't think I need to go over what the media has already been talking about the basics of make sure you wash your hand, don't touch anything and then touch your face, remind yourself to maybe wear a glove at the pump, wear a mask if you need to do that as well. So I don't have to go over what the media has already been talking about. If you have antibacterial soap or hand sanitizer, use those things. You just have to use common sense in these things. Most people are self-isolating and or just staying home and not going out if they don't have to, unless they have to go get food, because it's the best way. It's just not to be in large crowds. They're talking about the nursing homes and the churches as well. Try not to be in large crowds. It stinks if you're in a large crowd and someone's coughing at the back of your head. Who wants that? Nobody wants that. It's like, come on. Most people aren't covering their mouths either. And I was out at Walmart the other day and someone was just like coughing and not without even covering their mouth. And I'm thinking, what the heck? Like, you know what kind of situation we're in right now. Why wouldn't you cover your mouth? Um, it just makes sense, right? No, I guess not. And I'm the person to say something to someone like, could you please cover your mouth so you don't infect the rest of us? Hello, what if I just walked around and started coughing in their face? It just doesn't make any sense. But hey, this is what we're dealing with here. So it's just best if you can stay home, it's probably best if you can. But again, there are those that would think that's even overreacting, saying they're not going to stay home, and they have to live their lives how they live their lives. You can't tell anybody what to do. You can only make recommendations. That's how I see it. All of that said, let's not let the propaganda that's being spread either weigh into any of this. I just believe in being smart, having a little something home, and make sure you're okay if we have to stay home and we're quarantined, right? But don't let the propaganda get to you with the numbers and things like that. We haven't been able to do as much testing as other countries, or for whatever reason, not getting into the politics of it, but we haven't done as much testing. I'm sure the numbers are quite large for the US. We just haven't done the testing that other countries have done, which stinks. So remember that as well. So that's important. Okay, next, I wanted to talk about, we already talked a little bit about the balance and preparation. We also talked about propaganda. I also wanted to talk about fear. Fear plays a really big role in this whole thing because we don't want fear to grasp us. We don't want fear to take over where we're moving out of fear. That's not the spirit that I would want to work in. There is a Bible scripture that says God hasn't given us a spirit of fear, but of power and love and of a sound mind. And I believe that, and it is a spirit. And so try not to, as easy as it may seem or be, let fear grip you in this case, or panic even. What I've done, I'm meditating, and you guys can do the same 2 or 3 times a day, literally just for maybe 10 minutes a piece, maybe 15 if you can, just sitting there in quiet. And this is pretty much what I've done to keep my peace. I meditate a few times a day. I just sit there for 10 or 15 minutes, listen to your music, light your incense. If you want to say your prayers, and then I go ahead and meditate to keep my peace within. You see, the way I see it is, this is how I see it for all of you that are out there and are visual and creative, which should be most of, is probably most of you who are magicy, right? But this is how I see myself, as if I'm in a bubble and I'm protected. And then here's the world outside of me, right? And around me. But it's not getting in and it's not affecting me. I can hear what's going on the news. I can see what's happening in the grocery stores, but I don't let it penetrate to my core. I allow the world to operate around me and to spin around me, basically, right? But I don't allow it to affect my core. So I continue to do what I do. I continue to meditate. Now is a good time to start talking to your spirit guys, and your protectors, your angels, right? And those guardians that are around you, your guides that are there, your protectors. Now is a good time to talk with them and connect with them. So this is what I do when I meditate. This is when I pray, I speak to them. I protect my house, ensure you ward your house and protect those loved ones that you have, whether they live with you or not. You need to ensure that you protect them, which is what I do. We call it putting a mark on someone. Okay, you can put a mark on your family and your friends to protect them. So this is what we do, and it's important. Don't think that your prayers, that your intentions toward your family members, toward your friends is not important. You need to do this because they're probably not doing it. So you need to do this. And I mean, and I also think another part of my piece is because I have prepared, right? I have, if you have your food and your water and your medicines, then you have a lot less to worry about if anything does happen. If not, you just have some supplies for later on in the year. But you have to think strategic, and it will help lessen your anxiety as well. If you take medicine, don't forget to have your medicine there with you. It will help. But this is what I do with my meditation. This is what I do when I speak to the spirits, my spirits, and this is also what I do when I visualize everything else around me and it not affecting me and it not coming in to my space, into my place, and it's not affecting me or my loved ones, period. So you have to stand strong in this right now. And another reason I think my spirits are quiet is because I needed to focus on this moment. I need to focus on this because there are targets out here. This virus doesn't really seem like it discriminates. It goes for almost everybody. So don't forget to, if you fast, and don't forget to mark your places, like I said, and your friends and family. It's not only biblical. A friend of mine, my who's Haitian, into Haitian Voodoo, we do this, and we mark family members. But like I said, it's also biblical. If you go back and think about when the plagues came with Pharaoh and things like that, and they had the death angel go around and I believe it was kill all the firstborn. And so what you had to do, I think it was lamb's blood. It's been a while since I've looked at this scripture, this story, but they had to paint the blood of the lamb on the doorposts of the home. And when the death angel would come through the village at night, it would go over that house and not enter and kill the firstborn, but that house was marked with the blood, right, of that lamb. And the death angel saw the blood and passed over the house. So we mark today, right? I mark my place, I mark my family's place, and you mark people. So that's a good lesson for this video. So do that, okay? Do that for your friends. do that for your family and for your place. It's biblical, and we do that. That's just what we do. So anyways, I wanted to try to keep this video short, but I wanted to tell you what I do to keep my peace, to keep fear out of my life and out of my being, and I don't let anything penetrate. You have to be very strong. So the spirits around you might silence, they're still there. Obviously, you can still feel them. I can still feel them, but it's time for us to hone in and focus, and make the best of the time that we have if we have to stay home. Make the best of the time and be productive with it. But I hope some of these tips helped. I hope you can use some of these at home for your family and your own place as well. If you have any questions, just write them down below and I'll answer them. And I appreciate you watching. Please like the video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll be back with another video soon. I appreciate you guys. Bye.